Good evening, everyone. So, today is Guru Rinpoche's special day, 10th day, and we all are very fortunate to invoke Padmasambhava's blessing so that we can receive his full blessing of body, speech and mind and knowledge and wisdom activity. So one of the main thing in the Lama practice, it's pure vision and devotion. Sometimes we may ask, why pure vision? When you try to make friends with somebody else, you need to bring certain level of good heart. You have to see that other person as a good person, at least to be your friend. Otherwise, it will be not possible to make friends. And then when you talk about achieving enlightenment, and for that you need the most important of all principle, the mind, is altruistic motivation. That you try to, in other words, you try to bring everyone into the same boat, that you are crossing the ocean of samsara. And the reason you try to bring everyone in the same boat is you see that as much as you are afflicted with negative emotion and habits and ignorance, all other beings are similar to that. And then how can you leave them behind? There's the principal notion of altruistic motivation. And since that being the case, the truth, then you have to see a certain level of pure vision is essential. In fact, not even certain level, a complete pure vision is essential in the Vajrayana practice. Without that certain level of pure vision, that altruistic motivation will not work. And what is the altruistic motivation is based upon, if you really, when you look deeper, the fact that you brought up an altruistic motivation to lead all beings out of samsara. You're not just simply saying, oh, yeah, that sounds good. Let's think about that. I don't think it will work that way if that's the case. The fact that when you bring altruistic motivation, there has to be some deeper meaning and deeper reason or logic or common sense. And that is that altruistic motivation comes deeper in walking within one, get inspired within one, has to have a very valid cause and reason, substantial cause. And that substantial cause is, you see that enlightened essence, the Buddha nature, permeates in all mind without exception. All sentient beings have the root seed of enlightened mind. And that you can see, when we were learning about Mahayana teachings. Mahayana teaching explain about the ultimate nature of all phenomena, whether it's subjective or whether it's objective, is devoid of any inherent existence. Meaning, devoid of inherent existing means there's not nothingness, but devoid of all afflictive emotion. That is what it is. Devoid of ignorance and devoid of afflictive emotion. And that is devoid of afflictive emotion, but doesn't mean that it is like nothingness. What takes place that once the afflictive emotion is removed or transcended, then the clear light takes place, which is the inherent quality of the mind of all beings. That is infused originally with compassion, warmthness, quality of immeasurable, quality of six paramita, fundamentally in the mind of all beings. And for that reason, when Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, seeing that is the nature of all being, there is not something, there is badness around, but actually the essence is a goodness in all being. And simply, you can say that it's been obscured for the time being, temporarily, but it's not inherent quality, it's temporal quality. And that once that is removed, then it's totally removed. And that's what we are striving on the path, to remove the obscuration of that. And when you see the possibility that it can be removed because it's temporarily, it has no basis, that gives the rise, deeper rise to inspiration of altruistic motivation. That's where in the Buddhism altruistic motivation come from, seeing the basic goodness in being. Otherwise, it would make no sense. How can inspiration, how can bodhisattva altruistic motivation can arise if it's not going to benefit being? And if you don't see the root cause, and the root cause is, if it's totally messed up, then nothing can be done. The fact that it can be done, therefore, altruistic motivation arises. So for that, once we get to the tantric practice, what we are doing today is tantric practice, sok practice. You need the pure vision. It's based upon basic goodness of all being. The pure vision to the Lama, pure vision to the Yidam, pure vision to the Dakini, pure vision to Dhammapalas, pure vision to one Dharma brothers, sisters, and pure vision to all sentient beings. Actually, they are confused, but in essence, they are all like enlightened beings. So, therefore, the Vajrayana is the path of resultant vehicle, means seeing it on the resultant level that everyone is enlightened beings. And that's why when you do the practice of Chhoje offering, which is Vajrayana practice, then you have to, very essential to bring, like, even you don't see your innate nature of Lama, innate nature of Idam, innate nature of Dakini within yourself, but at least have the pure vision that this is all the mandala of pure vision, mandala of the deity. The deity doesn't mean some kind of entity external. Your nature of your mind is the deity, the basic goodness. That is the deity. That is the Lama. That is the Yidam. That is the Dakini. So celebrate in that this, phenomenal offering of beauty and sense pleasure, everything offered to the deity without attachment. Make infinite offering but without attachment. And then bring about the refuge, then bring the bodhicitta mind, and then step by step as the practice have, provided us so clearly, you can follow it very easily. And so please follow in that way, okay? So let's do the Chhoje practice now.
This is the opening prayer section found on page 1.
Kula Chhoje daja tashi sho demi gyalpo tselten tunduk chembe gembe gata padamba kuna gumba jajare dapa rumbu darba tselta beldani simje tamje lagong tape yizim zeba tserap tabal de tsenzam debe dashi pepe Devara shikpa gela chaza lo jambe junu palden dorje zing jere zingwa gumbo jambe sayi nyingbo depa nambura se namge nyingbo bajo gundu zang ube doje begara doshi nubu dawa relti nyima yi chaza le nam daji belgij Chanju semba gela chaza lo rinjin dojo tashi sirgi nya dojo bunza yung kama. Nyenda dungda punzo pelbe u minu gyazen wanjiro kolo. Rinjin dajo gigi chaten jen chodu gyewa chujin gije ma gisong o timbe pepe. Tashi lhamu gela chaza lo tsangba chimbo dejong seme. Migdon dandan gyalpo yulkurusung, pake potano mingmi sa, namde sede laze kolo. Tishu ladan dungthun doje zin, piwa ralti chuten ge zenzi, sasum neso gile tashi. Jiti gyuwa gela chazalo, daja tingdere chawa zumbala, gedan ye war sewa kunjin. Tudu bebe samdu yijin rup, Tashi dele pusum so parashu. Daja tingdere chawa zumbala, gedan yewara sewa kunjin. Dudu bebe samdu yijin drup, tashi dele pusum so parashu. Daja tingdere chawa zumbala, gedan yewara sewa kunjin. Dudu bebe samdu yijin drup, tashi dele pusum so parashu. In English?
Om, in the natural, spontaneously present, perfectly pure, phenomenal existence, to all who dwell in the auspicious realms of the 10 directions, the Buddhas, Dharma, and the assemblies of the Noble Sangha, I prostrate and pray that all may be auspicious for myself and all others. To Drume Gyalpo Tselten Dundrup Gong, Jampe Gyimpa Gedrak Pel Dampa, Kunla Gongpa Gyatcher Drakpel Chen, Lunpo Tarpak Tseldrak Pel Eni. Noble ones known for your consideration of all sentient beings, noble ones known for your superior display of enlightened activities that grant mental satisfaction. Merely hearing your names increases all glory and auspiciousness. I prostrate to the 8 Sugatas, to the youthful Manjushri, the glorious Vajraholder, the powerful Avalokiteshvara, the noble protector Maitreya, Sai Ningpo, Dripa Namparcel, Namkai Ningpo, the supreme noble Kuntuzangpo, Utpel Dorje, Bekar Luxing, and Norbu Dawa Relji Nima, holders of the excellent hand emblems of supreme noble good fortune. I prostrate to the 8 Bodhisattvas, the supreme jeweled umbrella, the auspicious golden fish, the wish-fulfilling vase, the mind-pleasing Kamala flower, the conch of fame and glory, the fully endowed endless knot, the eternal victory banner, the all-powerful wheel. You who hold these 8 supreme precious signs, offered to the conquerors of all directions and times, attractive maidens of pleasure, to recall your nature increases all that is noble. I prostrate to the 8 goddesses of good fortune. Tsangpa Chenpo, Dejung Seme U, Migtong Den, and Gyalpo Yukor Sung, Pakepo, and Luang Migmi Sang, Namte Se, and Hlatse Korlo, holders of the trident, short spear, and vajra, vina, sword, stupa, and banner of victory, who make auspiciousness and positivity grow in the 3 realms. I prostrate to the 8 guardians of the world. Concerning the activity that myself and others are about to begin, by pacifying all obstructions and unwanted harm, may the noble and meaningful increase and all wishes be accomplished. May good fortune, happiness, and prosperity be fully endowed.
Ya zen chogi ngu chumni Pema jung ne she su cha Kordu kanjo mang pe kor Ki ki je su da du ki Jingi lob chiri shek su su Guru pe ma si di hung Urge yuki nob chan sam Pe ma ke sara dong bo la Ya zen chogi ngo chumni Pe ma jung ne she su cha Kordu kanjo mang pe kor Ki ki je su da ru ki Jingi lob chiri shek su su Guru pe ma si di hung Urge yuki nob chan tsam Pe ma ke sara dong bo la Ya zen chogi ngo chumni Pe ma jung ne she su cha Kordu kanjo mang pe kor Ki ki je su da drup ki Jingi lob chiri shek su su Guru pe ma si di hung
Hung, at Oregon's northwestern frontier, on the stem and corona of a lotus flower, wondrous supreme accomplishment attained, and as a lotus born renowned, encircled by a retinue of many dakinis, so that I may become like you, please come and grant your blessings. Guru Pema Siddhi Hum.
Emma ho zhe zhe chu ki yin ki xin gam su Chun yi tu sum ge ga me be ngang Cha zhe lun zo de wa chenpe ku nam ka shin tu je cho re me lama chu ki ku la sro wa de urge pe ma ju ne la sro wa de chi lung ki zhu bei xin gam su tu chi qian bu zhu wei du la ju gang la gang du tab ki zhu dun zi de da ma jun da da du sum ki la ma long ju zo gu la sro wa de ur ge be ma ju ne la sro wa de mi ji ji den da bei xin gam su tu ji qian bu zhou wei de la ju gang la gang du tao ki zhe dun ze. What's the next word? Da da du sum ki la ma zhu be ku la sro wa de ur ge be ma ju ne la sro wa de.
Wondrous, in the pure realm of the fundamental space of reality, free from elaboration, the actual nature beyond the three times origination and cessation is the body of great bliss, naturally complete and aimless. Compassion like the sky, without bias or point of reference. Dharmakaya Guru, to you I pray. Lotus born of organ, to you I pray. In the pure realm of the spontaneously present great bliss are the embodiments of the Buddha's form, speech, mind, qualities, and activity, the bodies of the thus gone ones, endowed with the fivefold primal knowing, revealing each and every of the various manifestations of compassion. Sambhogakaya Guru, to you I pray. Lotus born of organ, to you I pray. In the realm of the innate purity of this conditioned universe, manifest through great compassion for the sake of sentient beings, emanations act to benefit beings through skillful means suited to each individual, those passed on to come and present. Nirmanakaya Gurus of the three times, to you I pray. Lotus born of organ, to you I pray.
Ngun zi ri zi nu den dor je sele ma un de shi me pa ta ye shao ta ta pen jun gya bal sab zhu pe ngu jik te yi shi dor je la sro wa de.
In the past, the awareness holder, Nuden Dorje Tsel. In the future, the Buddha, Mpa Thai. In the present, Padmasambhava's regent, Drogben in person, Jigdra Yeshe Dorje, to you I pray.
Om Min Chu Ki Yin Ki Shin Gam Su Tu Sumu San Ye Kun Ki Ngo Bo Ni Rang Sem Chu Kuru Ngun Sum Dun Ze Be Sa We La Me Jab La Sro Wa De.
Within the palace of the fundamental space of reality, the unsurpassed pure realm, is the essence of all Buddhas of the three times. You who actually introduced the Dharmakaya of my own mind, Root Guru, at your feet I pray.
Kada chuku pema tsepa
69.
me
The
long
lineage prayer
chu
at the start of the soul.
zoku pema kundu chang tu pe kungu tsoke dorje la so wa dep so da gu ching ki lo yang jin zhu pa yi xie so gel ma long e da zhu si lu ge pa zel kyab da jam pa le de bi ni ma la so wa dep so da gu ching gi lo chin la ka ba gyur me nge te wang ri ge kyab da du jom jo du ling ka tri sum den ca we la ma la so wa dep so da gu ching ki lo de tara so wa ta pe chi nap ki min che wang to tam si nam para ta rim ni lam le nyen drup thar chin de kun za pe ma ka re gu to sho.
Original purity, Dharmakaya Padma, limitless longevity, Sambhogakaya Padma, holder of all, essential face of Nirmanakaya, lake-born Vajra Lord. As I pray to you, please transform my mind. Emanation of Saraswati, Mother Yeshe Tsogyal, Zilnon Gepatzel, who deciphered the symbols of the fivefold inner expanse, Lord of Refuge, Jampel Dewe Nima. As I pray to you, please transform my mind. Gyurmeng Edung Wangpo, destined to receive the blessings. Dujum Drodo Lingpa, refuge embodying the 100 families. Root Guru, so kind in the 3 ways. As I pray to you, please transform my mind. By the blessing of praying in this way, the maturing empowerments are received with Samaya pristine. On the path of the 2 stages, perfecting the approach and accomplishment, may I attain the body of the lotus-born, total goodness.
Fire. Hong Ri Dong Ngo Bo Tso Ki Pe Ma Jung Kyab Ne Kun Du Ngo Bo Ro Kyab Su Chi Si Tiri Lo Puru Tulu Pe Jo Wa Kun Tu Pa Rang Sang Ka Ta Long Tu Sho Hong Ri Dong Ngo Bo So Ki Pe Ma Jung Kyab Ne Kun Du Ngo Bo Ro Kyab Su Chi Si Diri Lo Puru Tul Pe Jo Wa Kun Tu Pa Rang Sang Ka Ta Long Tu Sho Hong Ri Dong Ngo Bo So Ki Pe Ma Jung Kyab Ne Kun Du Ngo Bo Ro Kyab Su Chi Si Diri Lo Puru Tulu Pe Jo Wa Kun Tu Pa Rang Sang Ka Ta Long Tu Sho. Okay. Ram Yam Kam Om A Hung Ho Sarva Buddha Agara Kaya Za Sarva Bine Balindak Sarva Buddha Agara Kaya Za Sarva Bine Balindaka Sarva Buddha Agara Kaya Za Sarva Bine Balindaka Ye. Hold it. Om Mari Zung Zin Turu Pe Jung Po Nama Dharma Di Kere Ta Che Ngang Du Teng Rang Ri Yi She Po Gyuru Me Pe Ngang Korsum Yetre Nganto Samjetum Sumane Hong Girane Pane Hong Ani Ho Bhagavan Beranza Hong Patum Sumane Hong Girane Pane Girane Pane Hong Ani Ho Bhagavan Beranza Patum Sumane Hong Girane Pane Hong Ani Ho Bhagavan Beranza Benzara Gyana Rakya Rakya. Just I have to say the prayer. Hung de je be ma ki be shin kam ne kusum lun du so ki dor je chang ne dire je bo cho tu ngu drup su chu ze kuzang ru be gen du gyur o ma hung ben za guru be ma tu ring se za sama ya za abe she a om se bo so ma Okay, now you have to read, in English. Read it from the refuge.
Hum, awareness, emptiness, the essence is the lake-born lotus guru. I take refuge in the essence, gathering all of the sources of refuge. For all beings temporarily deluded by this transitory existence, may delusion purify itself and unravel in the expanse of original purity. Hum, negative forces, unaware and deluded by duality, take this torma and go to the state beyond extremes. The unchangeable state of self-aware primal knowing is the boundary of protection that is primordially liberated from the three spheres of delusion. Hum, from the blissful pure realm of the spiraling lotus, naturally self-accomplished three bodies, lake-born Vajraholder, please bless this place and grant the supreme and ordinary siddhis. May these offerings become the ornament of the display of total goodness.
Arang lu tame ne pe dun karu urgin ti me dana ko she so tin sa ye la ge den chu kang we u su rin chin pe don da ge Kyabne kundu urgen dorje chang Sempe pe bara soge yum dante Chaye dorje yum pe tu pum nam Tardarin Rupe Gengi Nge Long Na De Chine Si Jin Bar Kordu Tsa Sum Gya Tso Tin Tarativ Shin La Tu Je Char Be Da La Si Gyar Gu Ngo Bo Chi Me Yi Shi Kul Dong Shu Ta Pe Te Cha Ta Tu Tse Lü Da Long Chu Tu Sum Ge We So Kun Zan Chu Pe Tin Tu Mig Ne Bul To Me Ne Sa Di Tu Ma Du Sha Se Je Gyala Wa Kun Ki Yun Den Ki Kyaba Da Chik Bu Gun Pe Nam Dara La Nying Ne Yi Ran Te Pe Sol Dev Shin Zab Gi Chu Ki Char Chi Be Para Kun Ran Shin Ge Ve Ngo Po Kun Dom Ne Do Kam Gya So Chi Si Ne Ki Par Gompo Kyu Ki Nam Tara Je Nyik Te Ka Kyaba Do Wa Dempe Dun Tu Kyab Ne Gundu Ken Se Te Chimpo Nge Nyik Me Kyab Chi Rinpoche Nga De Gu Pe Nar Jin Dong Shu Ki Sol De Pu La Tse Ve Nyor Tu Si Gong Pe Long Ne Tu Je Zal Chung La Me Den Da Ki Nying La Ching Ki Lo Ta Dan Tse Ma Nyor Tu Den Ba Dang Cho Dan Tu Mong Ngon Tu Bo Zal Tu Se
Ah, before me in my ordinary form is Oregon's stainless Tanakosha Lake, its profound depth filled with the water of 8 qualities. In its center, atop a jeweled stem of a lotus, petals unfurled, is the Oregon Vajra holder, in whom all sources of refuge converge. Brilliant with the splendor of the major and minor marks, he is embracing Chhoje, the mother consort. He holds a Vajra in his right hand, a vase with his skull cup in his left. Exquisite in their silks and ornaments of jewels and bone, within a vast expanse of 5-colored light, they blaze in the awesome splendor of great bliss. Oceans of the 3 roots gather like clouds as their retinue. They gaze upon me, bringing down a shower of blessing and compassion. To the embodiment of deathless primal awareness, the essence of all victorious ones, I forever offer prostrations of faith with intense and powerful yearning. My body, wealth, and enjoyment, and all the virtue gathered throughout the 3 times, all these I offer in the manner of Samantabhadra's vast clouds of offering. I confess without exception all negative actions and failings accumulated through time without beginning. Sole sovereign of all the qualities of the victorious ones and their heirs, enlightened protector, in your example of perfect liberation, I rejoice from my heart. To you I pray with faith, beseeching you to bring down a great rain of profound and vast Dharma. amassing all virtuous qualities of my own and others, I will, for as long as the countless ocean of beings endures, follow the example of your perfect liberation, enlightened protector. I dedicate all of this to the guidance of beings throughout space. Great wellspring of wisdom and love, in whom all sources of refuge converge. Sole precious refuge in these evil dregs of time, I am afflicted by the spread of the 5 degenerations, and pray to you with great longing. Quickly look with love upon your child. Bring forth the manifest energy of compassion from the expanse of your realization. Grant your blessings to my devoted heart. Swiftly show signs and indications, and pray bestow the supreme and ordinary siddhis. Now recite the 7-line prayer that you can find on page 96, old page 13.
Pema jone Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekoro, Kigi Jesuda, to be Chinga to be Shizosun, Guru Pema City, Hung will get you good. Pema Gesardumbola, Yensechugan Udumye, Pema jone Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekoro, Kigi Jesud. Chinga of Shizosun, Guru Pema City, Hung will get you good, Pema Gesard. Yensechugan Udumye, Pema jone Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekoro, Kigi Jesuda, to be Chinga of Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan Jansa, Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga. Pema June Shizuta, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizu. Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan. Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga Udubni, Pema June Shizuta, Kurdo Kondo. Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizu, Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan Jansa, Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga. Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekuru, Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizu. Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan Jansa, Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga. Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekuru, Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizu. Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan. Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga, Udumye, Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo. Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizu. Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan. Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga, Udumye, Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekuru, Kigi Jesuda. Chingal of Shizu, Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan Jansa, Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga. Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekuru, Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizu. Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan. Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga, Udumye, Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekuru, Kigi Jesuda. Chingal of Shizu, Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan Jansa, Pema Gesar. Yezuga, Udumye, Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekuru, Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizu. Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan. Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga, Udumye, Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekuru, Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan Jansa, Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga. Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekuru, Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan Jansa, Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga. Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekuru, Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizu, Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan Jansa, Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga, Udumye, Pema june Kurdo Kondo Mambekuru, Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizu, Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan. Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga, Udumye, Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo. Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizu, Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan Jansa, Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga. Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekuru, Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizu, Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan. Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga, Udumye, Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekuru, Kigi Jesuda. Chingal of Shizu, Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan Jansa, Pema Gesar Dombola, Yezuga. Pema june Jesuda, Kurdo Kondo Mambekuru, Kigi Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizu, Guru Pema City Hung, Urge Yugan. Pema Kesardum Bola, Yenzechuke Ngudumni, Pema June Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuta. Chingal of Jesus, Guru Pema City, whom Urgi you can Jansa, Pema Kesardum Bola, Yenzechuke. Pema June Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuta, to be Chingal of Jesus, Guru Pema City, whom Urgi. Pema Kesardum Bola, Yenzechuke Ngudumni, Pema June Jesus. Kiki Jesu da rupi chinge lopchi shiso sol guru pema sidi yung hung urgi yugi nubjansa pema kizardum. Yenze chugi ngudumni pema jone shiso da kurdo kondo mape kuru kiki Jesu da rupi chinge lopchi shiso. Guru pema sidi yung hung urgi yugi nubjansa pema kizardum bola yenze chugi. Pema jone shiso da kurdo kondo mape kuru kiki Jesu da rupi chinge lopchi shiso sol guru pema sidi yung hung urgi yugi Pema Kesardum Bola, Yezechuki Ngudumni, Pema June Shisuta, Kurto Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuta, Chingalab Jeshiso Sul, Guru Pema City, Hung Urgi, Yukanimiasa, Pema Kesardum. Yezechuki Ngudumni, Pema June Shisuta, Kurto Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuta, Rubi Chingalabi. Guru Pema City, Hung Urgi, Yukanimiasa, Pema Kesardum Bola, Yezechuki. Pema Jone Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuta, Rupi Chingelo Pishido Sun, Guru Pema City, Hung Urgi Yukan. Pema Kisardum Bola, Yezechuki Ngudumni, Pema Jone Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuta. Chingelo Pishido Sun, Guru Pema City, Hung Urgi Yukan, Jansa, Pema Kisardum. Yezechuki Ngudumni, Pema Jone Jesuta, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuta. Chingalopji shiso sol guru pema sidi hung urgi yuki nubjansa pema kizar. Yenze chuki ngudumni pema june shiso ta kurdo kondo mabe kuru kiki jesu ta rubi. Chingalopji shiso sol guru pema sidi hung urgi yuki nubjansa pema kizar dombola yenze chuki ngudumni pema june. Kurdo kondo mabe kuru kiki jesu ta rubi chingalopji shiso sol guru pema sidi hung urgi yuki nubjansa pema kizar. Yenze chuki ngudumni pema june shizuta kurdo kondo mabe kuru kiki jesuta. Chingalopji shiso sol guru pema sidi hung urgi yuki nubjansa pema kizar dombola yenze chuki. Pema june shizuta kurdo kondo mabe kuru kiki jesuta rubi chingalopji. Guru pema sidi hung urgi yuki nubjansa pema kizar dombola yenze chuki. Pema june shizuta kurdo kondo mabe kuru kiki jesuta rubi chingalopji. Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June. Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda, Rubi Chinga Rubi Shizu. Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kesar. Yenze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabe Guru, Kiki Jesuda, Rubi Chinga Rubi Shizu, Guru Pema Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June. Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rubi Chinga Rubi Shizu, Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kesar. Yenze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rubi Chinga Rubi. Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenze Chugi. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rubi Chinga Rubi. Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenze Chugi. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rubi Chinga Rubi. Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenze Chugi. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rubi Chinga Rubi Shizu. Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urgi Yugan. Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingalopji Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kesar. Yenze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rubi Chingalopji Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kesar Dombola, Yenze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rubi Chingalopji Shizu Sol, Guru Pema Sidi Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Yenze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rubi Chingalopji. Guru Bema Sidium, Urji Yuganum Jansa, Bema Kasardobola, Yize Sugan Gurumni, Bema Juni. Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda, the Bichin Girl of Jishison, Guru Bemas. Hung Urji Yuganum Jansa, Bema Kasardombola, Yize Sugan Gurumni, Bema Juni. Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda, the Bichin Girl of Jishison, Guru Bema Sidium, Hung Urji Yuganum Jansa, Bema Kasar. Inse chuki ngudumni pema jane shizuta, kurdo kondo mabe kore, kiki jizuta, chinge lopshi shizu sol, guru pema sidi ngudye yu. Pema kizur tumbola, inse chuki ngudumni pema jane shizuta, kurdo kondo mabe kore, kiki jizuta, chinge lopshi. Guru pema sidi ngudye yu gunum jansan, pema kizur tumbola, inse chuki ngudumni pema jane. Kurdo kono mabekure kiki jesuda rupi chinge lopshi shizosu. Guru pema sidi yung hung ulye yugunum jansa pema kizur. Ize chuke ngudumnye pema jene shizoda kurdo kono mabekure kiki jesuda. Chinge lopshi shizosu guru pema sidi yung hung ulye yugunum jansa pema kizur tumbola ize chuke. Pema jene shizoda kurdo kono mabekure kiki jesuda rupi chinge lopshi shizosu. Guru pema sidi yung hung ulye yugunum. Pema Kesardombola, Inze Chugengudumye, Pema Juna Shizuta, Kurdo Kondoma, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi, Chingelupi Shizu, Guru Pema Sidium, Hung, Uri Yugunum Yasa, Pema Kesar. Inze Chugengudumye, Pema Juna Shizuta, Kurdo Kondoma, Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi, Chingelupi. Guru Pema Sidium, Hung, Uri Yugunum Yasa, Pema Kesardombola, Inze Chugeng. Pema Juna Shizuta, Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi Shizu, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan, Jansa, Pema Kasar Dombola, Inze Jugan. Pema Juna Shizuta, Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi Shizu, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan, Jansa, Pema Kasar Dombola, Inze Jugan, Rupi Pema Juna. Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi Shizu, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan. Pema Kasar Dombola, Inze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi. Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar Dombola, Inze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June. Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi Shizu, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar. Inze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi Shizu, Guru Pema Sidi. Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar Dombola, Inze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondoma. Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi Shizu, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar. Inze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi. Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar Dombola, Inze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June. Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi Shizu, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar. Inze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi. Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar Dombola, Inze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June. Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi Shizu, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar Dombola, Inze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondoma. Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi Shizu, Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar. Inze Chugi Ngudumni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi. Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar Dombola, Inze Chugi. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi. Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar Dombola, Inze Chugi. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi. Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar Dombola, Inze Chugi. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi. Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar Dombola, Inze Chugi. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondoma Bekuru, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chinge Lupi. Guru Pema Sidi, Hung Urgi Yugan Jansa, Pema Kasar Dombola, Inze Chugi. Pemajune Shisuta, Kurdo Kondo Mambekur, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chingelobi, Guru Pema Sidi Hung, Urgi Yugan Jansang, Pema Kizartumbola, is a Jugu. Pemajune Shisuta, Kurdo Kondo Mambekur, Kiki Jesuda, Rupi Chingelobi Shisu, Guru Pema Sidi Hung, Urgi Yugan. Pema Kizartumbola, is a Chugun Dubni, Pemajune Shisuta, Kurdo Kondo Mambekur, Kiki Jesuda. Chingelobje shizo sol guru pema sidi hung urge yugunum yansa pema gazurdu mona ize jugu pema jone shizo ta kurdo kondo mabe kuru kigi jisu ta rubi chingelobje guru pema sidi hung urge yugunum yansa pema gazurdu mona ize jugu pema jone shizo ta kurdo kondo mabe kuru kigi jisu ta rubi chingelobje shizo sol guru pema sidi hung urge yugunum Pema Kizardum Bola, is a chugging Udubni, Pema June Shisuta, Kurdo Kondom. Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shishiso, Guru Pema City, whom would give you Gundam Jansa, Pema Kizardum. The chugging Udubni, Pema June Shisuta, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shishiso, Guru Pema City, whom would give you Gundam. Pema Kizardum Bola, is a chugging Udubni, Pema June Shisuta, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan. Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging Udubni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizar. Is a chugging Udubni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizo, Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan. Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging Udubni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging Udubni, Pema June. Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizo. Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging Udubni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan. Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging Udubni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan. Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging Udubni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizar. The chugging Udubni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging. Pema June Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging Udubni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan. Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging Udubni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema City, Uji Yugan. Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging Udubni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema City, whom Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizartumbola is a chugging. Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema Hong Uji Yugan Jansa, Pema Kizartumbola. As a chugging Udubni, Pema June Shizuda, Kurdo Kondo Mapekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingal of Shizo Sol, Guru Pema. Hong Urji Yugunum Janza, Pema Kazardombola, is a Chugungi, Pema Generation, Kurdogunum. Kiki Jesu da to be Chingle of Shizu Sol, Guru Pema City, Hong Urji Yugunum Janza, Pema Kazardombola, is a Chugun. Pema Generation, Kurdo Kondo Mabekuru, Kiki Jesu da to be Chingle of Shizu Sol, Guru Pema City, Hong Urji Yugunum Janza, Pema Kazardombola, is a Chugun. Pemajune Shizuda, Kurdo Kuno Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingle of Shizu, Guru Pemasidi, Hung Yugun. Pemakisur, the Bola is a Chugun Udumi, Pemajune Shizuda, Kurdo Kuno Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda. Chingle of Shizu, Guru Pemasidi, Hung Yugun of Yasa, Pemakisur, the Bola is a Chugun. Pemajune Shizuda, Kurdo Kuno Mabekuru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingle of Shizu, Guru Pemasidi, Hung Yugun. Mema Kasardombola, Yezechuki Udumi, Pema Jonishita, Kurdogonoma. Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingle of Jesus, Guru Pema City, whom would you gun Yaza, Pema Kasardombola, Yezechuki. Pema Jonishita, Kurdokondoma Beguru, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingle of Jesus, Guru Pema City. Whom would you gun Jansa, Pema Kasardombola, Yezechuki Udumi, Pema Jonish. Kurdo Kondo Mabekur, Kiki Jesuda, to be Chingle of Jesus, Guru Pema, Sidi, whom Muguki Soa Tepe, Lama Yevim, Gijorzum Dantugani, Shiki, Uzerenanga, Patata Rekan, Rangi Nigar Tempe, Guchingela para Cure Omam Ziguripam, Sidom, Ziguripam, Sidom, Ziguripam.
Now the Vajraguru mantra on page 99.
Mom the good bums it on moms 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 the good bums it on Mom the good bums it on moms 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 the good bums Moms the good bums it on 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 moms the good moms the good bums it on moms the good bums it on moms the good bums on moms the good bums it on moms the good bums it on Okay. Now the confession.
Now the confession on page 86.
I don't have a text. Yeah, actually there's Shido Tangpo. Yeah, we can do. No, I have here. Shido Tangpo. Son, you have to light the candles. Shido Dangpo Sangye Kundu Zang Dorje Senpa Dorje Tijin Shi Pao Chenpo Chowa Kyope Gun Dala Sergon Yishe Chingis Dune Make Yene Namda Kyang Chunguro Lopuro Sharwe Kundo Le Mari Sunzi Kena Nyamcha Kun Tachi Chui Yumge Longdo Sha Benzara Samwe Dapo Dorje Tamja Pa Kusu Tuksa Sama Yabumki Tamle Nyamshin Sigle Garwa Kang Rabdu Nojin Gyöpe Tolosha Satu Nyamba Gyundu Gyurpe Tudene Leki Nyezin Dorje Kandro Yi Kai chepa tapu gyuru pe dichi dip gyuru nyalsi gyusasha. Ondu pe gerpo yene dorje che miksu meji nyamda shapa tel kundu zambo yezo rikpe long duje mepa chui long du a. Ombe zer soro samaya manu pari yabani sotru madro drima masaro kebe masabo kebe mepa anurdu mepa. Sarvajir me priyatsa sarva karmase jimjiram shiriyam kurum ha 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 hu bagum sabatata gore penjir ma mujabjir ba ma samaya satu ambejir suru samaya man pariya bunis tirode ma machro kai me sabo kai me ba anurd me ba sarvajir me petsa sarva karmase jimjiram shiriyam kurum ha hu sabatata gore penjir ma mujabjir ba ma samaya satu ambejir suru samaya man
Of the
pariya bunis
Vajrasattva mantra in the middle of page 100.
Sarvajrame Priyatsa Sarva Karma Sijam Jirum Shiriyam Kurung Ha 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 Hu Bhagavan Sabatara Panjarbam Jabjarbam Bejar Soro Samaya Manapariya Banisatarum Rodrima Masaraka Member Saboka Member Anordam Member Vajrapajam Sarva Karma Sijam Jirum Shiriyam Kurung Ha 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 Hu Bhagavan Sabatara Panjarbam Jabjarbam Samaya Satu and Bejar Soro Samaya Manapariya Banisat Tiroted Mamas Roke members of Boka Maba, Northern Maba, Sarvajam Mapets, Sarva, Kurmasitum, Shiriam, Kurunga. Sabatara got a major members of Bama, Samaya Satu, and Bezer Soros, Samaya Manipari Manisot. Tiroted Mamas Roke members of Boka Maba, Northern Maba, Sarvajam Mapets, Sarva, Kurmasitum, Shiriam, Kurunga. Sabatara got a major members of Bama, Samaya Satu, and Bezer Soros, Samaya Manipari Manisot. Tiroted Mamas Roke members of Boka Maba, Northern Maba, Sarvajam Mapets, Sarva. Swizim Shiriam, Kurung, Ha Ha Ha, who Bagavan Sabatara Panzer, Mamas of the Masamaya Satu, and Bezer Sorosmaya Manapari Abonis. Tiroted Mamas Roke members of Boka Maba, Northern Maba, Sarvajam Mapets, Sarva, Kurmazim Shiriam, Kurung, Ha Ha Ha, Sarvatata got a Panzer, Mamas of the Masamaya Satu, and Bezer Sorosmaya Manapari Abonis. Tiroted Mamas Roke members of Boka Maba, Northern Maba, Sarvajam Mapets, Sarva, Kurmazim Shiriam, Kurung, Ha Ha Ha, who Bagavan Sabatara. Panzer Mamas of the Bama Samaya Satu, and Bezer Sorosmaya Manapari Abonis. The Rotary members of the members of Boka Maba, Northern Maba, Sarvajam Mapets, Sarva, Kurmazim Shiriam, Kurunga. Sabatara got a major members of the Bama Samaya Satu, and Bezer Sorosmaya Manapari Abonis, and Rotary members of the members of Northern Maba, Sarvajam Mapari, Sarva, Kurmazim Shiriam, Kurung, Ha Ha Ha, who Bagam. Sarvatata got a Benzer, members of the Bama Samaya Satu, and Bezer Sorosmaya Manapari Abonis. The Rogue members of Boka Maba, Northern Maba, Sarvajam Mapari, Sarva, Kurmazim Shiriam, Kurunga. Sabatara got a Benzer, members of the Bama Samaya Satu, and Bezer Sorosmaya Manapari Abonis. Surogai members of Boga Maba, Northern Maba, Sarvajam Mapari, Sarva, Kurmazim Shiriam, Kurunga. Sabatara got a Panzer, Mami Munza, Bizarbama Samaisatu, and Bezer Sorosmaya, Manapari Abonisot. The Rotary members of Rokai members of Boga Maba, Northern Maba, Sarvajam Mapets, Sarva, Kurmazim Shiriam, Kurung, Ha Ha Ha, who Bagavan Sabatara. Panzer members of Bizarbama Samaya Satu, and Bezer Sorosmaya, Manapari Abonisot, and Rotary members of Rokai members of Boga Maba, Northern Sarvajam Mapariya, Sarva, Kurmazim Shiriam, Kurung, Ha Ha Ha, who Bagavan Sabatara, Panzer members of Bizarbama Samaya Satu, and Bezer Soro. Monopoly Abanizo, the Mother members of okay, members of okay, member, nor the member, service of my pets, as a work, and Museum Kruma. Sabatara got a major members of Bama, Samaya Sato, and Major Sato, Samaya Monopoly Abanizo, the Mother members of okay, members of okay. Another the member was a representative member, as a work, and Museum Krunga. Sabatara got a major members of Bama, Samaya Sato, and Major Sato, Samaya Monopoly Abanizo. The Roger members of okay members of okay member, another the member was a representative member, as a work, and Museum Krunga. Sarvatata got a painter, Mammy was a bit about Master Maya Sato, and Bader Soro Samaya Manapari Openisot. The roted members of okay member, Suboke member, and the member was a representative member, Sarva Kurmazim Shiriam Krum. Savatata got a painter, members of Master Maya Sato, and Bader Soro Samaya Manapari Openisot. The roted members of okay member, Suboke member, and the member was a representative member, Sarva Kurmazim Shiriam Krum. Who Bagaman Savatata. Major members of Masama Sato Major Sorosama Manapari of Minnesota, Roger members of okay members of another the map of Representative Maprieta Sarva, Kurmazim Shiriam Kurung Sarvatata got a Benjamin members of Masama Sato Major Sorosama Manapari of Minnesota, Roger members of okay members of another the map of Representative Maprieta Sarva, Kurmazim Shiriam Kurung who Bagaman Sabatata got a Benjamin members of Masamaya Sato Ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum. Ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum. Ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum. Ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum. Ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum. Ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum, ummedir saduhum. Chhoje tanadonde rochi kyu. Gyawadi Durje Simba Dropian, Droa Chicken Monopati, Sala Gueparashu. Okay, now the soak. No, you make the, it's done? Yeah, make the plate. Okay, now you sprinkle with the pumpa. Yeah, open that. Leave it like this. Don't leave it like this. Yeah, like that. Sprinkle with the pumpa, then with the tsokchang. Hung a le chu yin ta nyam ka pa lar. Om le nang si de yuen so su sham. Hung gi de jin yi shi ru para gyuru. Shi yi za sum la zo ge pa gang. Om a hung shi, om a hung shi, om a hung shi. Hung ur ye yu ge nob jan sam. Be ma ke sara dong bo la. Ya zen cho gi zhub ni. Be ma jung ne she su ta. Kordo kanjo mang pe kor. Ki ki je su da zhub ki. De yun so la jen den na. Jin ki lob jiri shik su su. Ne jo di ru jin bo la. Chhoje yi shi du ziri gyur. Drup cho da la wan shi gur. Ge da long de par che sel. Cho dan tu mong u drup zu. Hun la ma je zu be ma tu zheng ze. Re zin kan zhu so dan che pa yi. Sa sum gun du ge we kin koro la. Me ku dong shu ta pe solo wa de. Da jing ge sum ge so long chu che. Nan si de yu ge gu ma zang me. Gun zang chu pe jin du mi ne bul. To me ne sa di do ma lu sha. Se chi gyala wa kun gi yun den gi. Jing so wa dep so gu ru Rinpoche. Jin ki lob shi ri ri zin kan ru so. Mu den pu la cho tu ngu zhub zu. Tam si nyam cha tam che chang du sol. Chi nang sang wei par chi yin su zho lo. Chan chu par du del me che zin xing. Se su nyam do yar ngu da xin pel. Sam pa lun ki ru para chin ki lo. Amang beza guru pema sidi hung. Okay, read that in English now. Read from the Tzok. Yeah, Hum Ale Jing. Yeah, Hum Ale.
So page 81. Hung, noble guru, Pema Tutrang Zel, together with your host of awareness holders.
Which one?
Dakinis.
Who are le chuin tanmung kapalar, right? That's sok. After the, yeah. The tsok practice, tsok.
It's different in this book. It's not listed like so, unfortunately.
But the word is sok, Now it's sok time.
Right, but it's not. Even in the Tibetan, I can't find it.
We always do it.
But it's not in the order.
I see.
So we did session here, page 20 is where it is. Page 79. From
Page what? Page?
Page 79.
Yeah.
From a skull cup equal to the fundamental space of reality. From Om, the sense pleasures of appearance and possibility arranged within as the gathering feast. With whom become the play of primal knowing great bliss. With Hri, the hosts of three roots devatas are delighted and fulfilled. At Oregon's northwestern frontier, on the stem and corona of a lotus flower, wondrous supreme accomplishment attained, and as the lotus born renowned, encircled by a retinue of many dakinis, so that I may become like you, I invite you to this feast of sense pleasures. Please come and grant your blessings. Send down your blessings to this excellent place and transform the feast offerings into the elixir of primal knowing. Bestow the four empowerments on me, the one who aspires to supreme accomplishment. Dispel obstacles, hindrances, and those who lead us astray. Grant the supreme in ordinary cities.
When you read the English translation, you should always read the mantra, because mantra is always in Sanskrit. It is, the power lies in that language. So there's no translation. Of course there's translation, but even it's not read in Tibetan. It's read in the Sanskrit original thing. Okay. Same thing, whether you read English or Spanish or French, whatever, the mantra should be always, yeah.
Even the parts where it says just the umze should say, even those?
No, what umze says umze, but like the mantra Oma Hung Si, one should say that. Yeah, okay, now go ahead.
Now the offering prayer, page 81. Hum. Noble Guru Pema Todrengsel, together with your hosts of awareness holders and dakinis, to this mandala of victorious ones embodying all the three roots devatas, I pray with devotion and intense yearning. My three doors, gathered virtue, enjoyments, wealth and those of others, appearance and possibility, delightful sense pleasures with nothing incomplete, all this I offer as the great bliss, Gana Chakra of total goodness, supreme bliss. Lovingly accept this with delight. May it fulfill our sacred bond. I beseech you, Guru Rinpoche, grant your blessings, host of awareness holders and dakinis. Grant the supreme and ordinary spiritual accomplishments to your devoted child. Please purify all degenerations and breaches of Samaya. Liberate outer, inner, and secret obstacles into fundamental space. Until my enlightenment, hold me inseparable. Increase longevity, merit, meditative experiences, and realization like the waxing moon. Grant blessings for the natural self-accomplishment of wishes. Om Ahum, Benta Guru Pemastiti Hum.
Now you have Ing Benda there, the Tsok. page 89.
Page 89.
Ram yam kam om ahung yingi benda rigbe sodro shim. Junju jazere tigle doyo da ngosara semi kepe tamsi di. Rangri tsawa sumki lazo la nimi nyambe ngandu choba dokpe chazuru tiglere chimbro sha. Zungzin dagi kimi yingsu zhul tundu nangji yishe tarji ne kata shunu pumkuru chanchu shu ram yam kam om ahung yingi benda rikpe sotro sham dundu jazre tigle doyonda ngosara sami kyape tamsi di rangri tsawa sumgi lazo la nimi nyambe ngandu chobabul dokpe chazuru tigle chimpro sha zungzin dragi kimi yingsu jol tuna shido sebe tile sondu nangji yishe tarji ne kata shunu pumkuru janju sho ram yam kam om ahung yingi benda rikpe sodro sham dundu jazire tigle doyonda ngosara sami kyape tamsi di rangri tsawa sumki laso la nimi nyambe ngandu chobabul dokpe chazuru tigle chimpuro sha zungzin dragi kimi yingsu dul tunang shito sebe tile dul lundu nangji yishe tarjine kata shunu pumkuru chanchu shu ram yam kam om a guru tsasum laso la deyo longcho sokshu tamzi nyamcha tamche sha nyomong dragi shaltu tele rabjam lundu zo sonyi nyurzo ngodu gana tsakta puza ho ram yam kam om a guru tsasum laso la deyo longcho sokshu tamzi nyamcha tamche sha nyomong dragi shaltu tap tile rabjam lundrup zo tsonyi nyurzo ngudrup gana sakta puza ram yam kam om a guru tsasum laso la deyo longcho sokshu tamzi nyamcha tamche sha nyomong dragi shaltu tap tile rabjam lundrup zo sunyi nyurzo ngudrup gana tsakta puza hu ram yam kam om ahung guru tsasum laso la deyo longcho sokshu bu tamzi nyamcha tamche sha nyomong dragi shaltu tap tile rabjam lundrup zo sunyi nyurzo ngudrup gana tsakta puza ram yam kam om ahung guru tsasum laso la deyo longcho sokshu tamzi nyamcha tamche sha nyomong dragi shaltu tap tile rabjam lundrup zo sonyi nyurzo ngudrup gana tsakta puza ho ram yam kam om ahung guru tsasum laso la deyo longcho sokshu tamzi nyamcha tamche sha nyomong dragi shaltu tap tile rabjam lundrup zo sonyi nyurzo ngudrup gana tsakta puza ho ram yam kam om a guru tsasum laso la deyo longcho sokshu tamzi nyamcha tamche sha nyomong dragi shaltu tap tile rabjam lundrup zo sonyi nyurzo ngudrup gana tsakta puza ho ram yam kam om a guru tsasum laso la deyo longcho sokshu tamzi nyamcha tamche sha nyomong dragi shaltu tap Tile rabjam lundubzo, sonyi nyurzo ngudubzo, gana zakta puja ho. English translation. Say the Yingi Benda and both English translation.
Ram Yam Kam Om Ah Hung. Within the skull cup of fundamental space, the ritual offerings of awareness are arrayed. The 6 lamps, rainbow rays, and spheres of light are the glittering, desirable qualities. This is the wondrous, inconceivable Samaya. To the self-aware Devata assembly of the 3 roots, the offerings are offered in the state of non-dual equanimity. The pointy edges of thoughts are confessed within the great sphere. Enemies and obstructors, the grasper and the grasped, are liberated into unborn fundamental space. Diluted appearance awakens in the basis and accomplishes the enlightened activities, perfecting the primal knowing of the naturally self-accomplished 4 visions. May I awaken in the youthful vast body, original purity. Ram Yam Kam Om Ah Hung. To the Guru and the assembly of the 3 roots devatas, the wealth of sense pleasures is offered as the feast. I confessed all deteriorations of Samaya, neurosis, enemies, and obstructors are offered to the mouths of the devatas. Naturally self-accomplished, vast, enlightened activities, may the 2 accumulations swiftly be completed. Bestow Siddhi, Skana Chakra Puja Ho.
Ramyam kam omahu Guru Devata kini gana satra puja uzeda barinda ka Ramyam kam omahu Guru Devata kini gana satra puja uzeda barinda ka Ramyam kam omahu Guru Devata kini gana satra puja uzeda barinda ka Ramyam kam omahu Guru Devata kini gana satra puja uzeda barinda ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ram Yam Kam Om A Guru Deva Dakini Gana Sakta Puja Uzeda Palinda Ka Ye. Okay. Okay. All right. Tuzumsanye Guru Rinpoche, Mudukuna Deva Chimbeja, Parche Kundu Taposa, Sola de Buchingi Lapto Solo, China, somewhere Parche, Shiva, Saba Lungu to Parche. Tuzumsanye Guru Rinpoche, Mudukuna Deva Chimbeja, Parche Kundu Taposa, Sola de Buching. China, somewhere Parche, Shiva, Saba Lungu to Parchingelo, Tuzumsanye Guru Rinpoche, Mudukuna Deva. Parche Kundu Taposa, Sola de Buchingi Lapto Solo, China, somewhere Parche, Shiva, Saba Lungu to Parchingelo, Uye Rinpoche, so what the garki parchi mijungsing tinge samba dobana cho tumonguru bis uyen mo chanaso garki parchi mijungsing tinge samba dobana cho uyen mo chanaso so wad garki parchi mijungsing tinge samba dobana cho tumonguru bisaldos. Okay. All right. So the practice we are doing is leg bone Padmasambhava, known as Chhoje Tuktik. There is, as you all know, 8 manifestation of Padmasambhava. So, don't think that, you're only doing a leg bone and but I'm missing the 8 other manifestation of Padmasambhava, such as Dorje Cholo, Guru Singye Dadok, then Guru Shakya Singye, then Guru Lodin Choksek, then Guru Pema Gyalpo, Guru Nyima Uzir, the other manifestation. Each one of those manifestations are the enlightened manifestation of Guru Rinpoche's mind, Padmasambhava's mind. Why 8? We may just say, why not just one? Because each one of them perform a specific, activity to benefit being. Either, like peaceful activity or increasing activity or magnetizing activity or wrathful activity. So each one of them are all what's the difference between Buddha's activity and ordinary sentient being activity? Buddha's activity is infused. If I use the word infuse, if I'm wrong, sorry, but correct me. What I mean, infused with the nature of reality, of wisdom, of emptiness, in union of wisdom and clarity, in union, infused with wisdom. Because it's infused with wisdom, it is able to perform that activity, bring the blessing to the practitioner, and cut through all obstacles. Obstacles are what? Dualistic thoughts. Dualistic thoughts creates infinite passions and neuroses. We say 84,000 passions and neurosis. In fact, there is not even end. It's like infinite. What your mind thinks, doesn't think, there is no end to it. How much imagination you have in your mind, how many fantasies you have in your mind, how many ideas you have in your mind. There is no limit to what kind of thoughts arise, what kind of thought. So each one of them infused in a samsaric state with ignorance and clinging, duality, in grasping, seeing which is totally transcendent nature, we see as like something solid. We solidify everything so real due to the ignorance of grasping. I'm real, you are real, this is real. And then when we really investigate and look into the nature, they are not as real as we thought. They seems to be real. Therefore it says, it's seemingly phenomena, but not actually there. But nevertheless, due to tremendous continuity of ignorance, continuity of grasping to that, and then the habits we build up, our minds get very thickened into there, like a thick soup, thicken into it, and then we live in that. So therefore, each manifestation of Buddha's, Padmasambhava's wisdom mind, different manifestation, cut through different obstacle, which are the source of the obstacle is one's mind. This obstacle is not really from outside. Yes, we call outer obstacle, inner obstacle, secret obstacle, though there is. But the root cause of all those obstacles is the inner obstacle, which is ignorant. From the ignorant then comes grasping. From that come hope and fear. The root cause of all obstacle comes from the hope and fear. One manifests, hope manifests as female. I think it is the female demon, and the fear manifests as male demon. Between male and female demon. So like sometimes you see the Heruka deities, wrathful deities, which is the manifestation of compassionate emptiness, union of emptiness, compassion. The deity manifests, stepping on the male and female, Mara, Rudra. It's like that is the hope and fear. As long as, if you read in his son is Dujum Rinpoche, his son is mountain retreat teaching, which is a Dzogchen teaching. In that, His Holiness explained, as long as there is hope and fear, there's no end to obstacle. We can try to bring down the level of obstacle, through our practices. And we need to keep doing it until all our karma is exhausted. It will keep coming. Supposing, you have danger for your health and you go to the doctor and you heal your kidney, let's say. But that doesn't mean now you are totally well for the rest of your life. You may have some heart problem. You may have a lung problem. You may have a, feet problem or some other problem. So you got to deal with it as time to time. Time to time. And a lot of time we have to deal with this, continuously. As long as the hope and fear, the dualistic stain doesn't purify or liberate it, the obstacle will never end. So therefore, how can we end obstacle is realization of the true nature of reality, which is shunyata, emptiness, which is the union. Don't get misunderstanding by emptiness saying negation. Always there is a danger of that. You see, word cannot really bring out the rawness. Word can create an image. If I say sugar, you can have an idea. Those who have tasted sugar will have an idea what sugar means. But by saying a sugar, you're not going to taste sweet. The word is not going to taste sweet. Word can give the picture. The rawness is you need to experience. So when we say emptiness, you see there's limitation. It can direct you to the idea, and then you, through your own intelligence and your awareness, then you can experience that when you do the practice, meditation or deity practice, then you truly experience that. That's how you become liberation. Liberation has to happen on a true inner basis, not just an idea basis, inner basis. Idea basis can have doubts. So if you think, oh, I may be enlightened, you are never enlightened. As long as you think, I may be, either it is or it's not. So therefore, as long as this grasping and duality of ignorance remain, as long as there is no end to obstacle, therefore, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, through the wisdom, infinite power, Kempa, Tsewa Nupa is called. Kempa means knowing, Tsewa means loving, and Nupa means power. Those three qualities, that wisdom has spontaneous quality of those. Kempa, spontaneous quality of Tsewa, spontaneous quality of Nupa, all powerful. That's how sometimes they manifest in the peaceful deities, male and female deity, wisdom, Daka, Dakini, sometimes into, wrathful, in different, whatever that conceptual obstacle, to how to remove that, how to liberate that, or how to transform that, or to transmute that, whatever, basically to bring to liberation and the union of blissful emptiness, primordial awareness. That is the whole point, the wisdom is infused. So therefore, once the wisdom is achieved, it is infinite power of manifestation to benefit infinite being all the time. For example, right now, as a sentient being, when we, as a sentient being, look at how much infinite neurosis you can produce. Really. You will be surprised yourself how much what you can do. You are very infinitely powerful right now in your neurosis. Isn't it? I think you can agree on that. So then when you liberate that ignorant and that duality, then you can see how much power is there on the other side. See, to remove all suffering, remove all obstacle. So therefore you need to, so important, the two kinds of bodhicitta, relative bodhicitta and absolute bodhicitta, so important. That's what, when we're doing the talk, we are here we're bringing those quality of, and then you're receiving Padmasambhava's blessing, and one begin to experience those quality, inherent quality within us. Okay? Yeah. So now let's do the Lagma.
We'll start in the middle of page 83.
Slowly. There's outside place to put, huh? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Now don't put that plate away. Don't put it. Yeah. Okay. No, don't put incense when you take out. Yeah. Okay. Ma hung penza merda hung hao ri li shing shing za. La de ji den je pe so. De ye nga de lak toro she. Pendant dewe tilleju umuzeta balingda ka yi. Tsoge lame kilgurdo, tsoge kolo kurwai, dashin rowa, malupa, kinkuri chikdu parasho. Buzaguri pamsidum, 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 Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, 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 Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, 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 Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, 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 Buzaguri pamsidum. Everything okay? It was frozen shut. Huh? It was frozen shut. So it stick properly. Yeah, I had to open it. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum, Buzaguri pamsidum. Buzaguri pamsidum, 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 Buzaguri pamsidum. What page it is? Lamene som
Page 77.
tudule Ozre karmar ting sumajune su Rangi ne sumotempe gosum ki Dev janku sun tuki dorjire gyur Tani lama korche ötushu karmarati le hunki tsemparu rangi nyingara timpe lame tu ransme yerme Lingi chu guru ne Say it in English.
From the 3 syllables in the Guru's 3 places emerge 3 rays of white, red, and dark blue light. As these are absorbed into my own 3 places, my 3 doors are purified of obscurations and become the vajras of enlightened body, speech, and mind. Finally, the Guru and his retinue dissolve into light, which becomes a white sphere glowing red, marked with Hung. As this is absorbed into my heart, the Guru's mind and mine join inseparably and dwell in Dharmakaya.
Ungi me chu
Page 84.
gu kalone ga me la gu na we cha ri me tong se ngan du tim Okay.
whom, from the inner sky of unborn Dharmakaya, the unobstructed form of the Devata appears and dissolves into emptiness, clarity, free from all direction.
Geza chanchu chimporo ngo boran shin tu jetsel urgen lama tsogeje kusum lungi rupayi Trashi tampe dele sho, trashi tampe dele sho. Temba ji ten kansu chomba da, temba ni jindu sewa da, tenze punu jindu, temba yi, temba yu ring nepe, trashi sho, tembe pe jo la me shebe ten, tenzi ki pe se ten. Tembe jindang, atang jurba ye, temba yu ring nepe, trashi sho. Nguzi urgin jimbe changaru, tsujin dubar jebe kanzala, mayi pujin kyongwe chijibe, chukyong sungme soge tashi. Chanshu kyongwe gyachen namto se, norge dapa arya zambala uwa sebe lamon. Nula tata namge tashi sho, nidir nimo dele sen dele, nime kuyang dele shin, nizen tatu dele shin. Kyamne kuncho sumki trashi sho tengdere nejo badaja punu yuncho kordan jeba tamchela nimadan dawa sada jingi nopale choba shindu duydang ponza michube cho tamchele tete shindu trashi bar gyurchik zaya zaya su zaya Yeah,
The roots of merit are dedicated to great awakening. The essence, nature, and compassionate manifest energy are the unsurpassed lake-born Lord of Organ. The spontaneously accomplished three bodies may all be auspicious, sacred, joyous, and excellent.
Tusum sanye guru Rinpoche, ngurub kunda deba chibesha, parche kunsul tapoche, solwa debyo chingil. China samwe parche shiwa tang, samba lungi do parchingilo, tusum sanye guru Rinpoche, ngurub kunda deba. Parche kunsul tapoche, solwa debyo chingil lapto solo. China samwe parche shiwa tang, samba lungi do parchingilo, tusum sanye guru Rinpoche, ngurub kunda deba. Parche kunsaldu tapoche solwa debzo chingi lapto sol china samwe parche jiwa tang samba lungi do par chingi lo tuzum sanje guru ngudu guna deba chimbe ja parche kunsaldu tapoche solwa debzo chingi china samwe parche jiwa tang samba lungi do par chingi lo tuzum sanje guru Rinpoche ngudu guna deba parche kunsaldu tapoche solwa debzo chingi lapto sol china samwe parche jiwa tang samba lungi do par Tusum sanje guru Rinpoche ngudub kuna deba chimbesha parche kunsul tapoche solwa debyo chingil. China samwe parche shiwa tang samba lungi do par chingilo. Tusum sanje guru Rinpoche ngudub kuna deba chim. Parche kunsul tapoche solwa debyo chingil labdo solo. China samwe parche shiwa tang samba lungi do par ching. Tusum sanje guru Rinpoche ngudub kuna deba chimbesha parche kunsul tapoche solwa debyo chingil. China samwe parche shiwa tang samba lungi do par chingilo tusum sanye guru ngurub guna dewa chimbe ja parche kunsul tapoche solwa debyo chingil labdo solo China samwe parche shiwa tang samba lungi do par tusum sanye guru Rinpoche ngurub guna dewa chimbe ja parche kunsul tapoche solwa debyo chingil China samwe parche shiwa tang samba lungi do par chingilo tusum sanye guru Uruguna deva chimbeja parchi kunsul de tapoze sola de chingi lapto solo china samwe parchi shu samba hlungi de parchingi lo tuzum sanje guru rimboche uruguna deva chim parchi kunsul de tapoze sola de chingi lapto solo china samwe parchi shu samba hlungi de parchingi lo tuzum sanje guru rimboche uruguna deva chim parchi kunsul de tapoze sola de chingi lapto solo china samwe parchi shu wa tang samba hlungi de parchi Tuzumsanje Guru Rinpoche, Ngudukuna Deva Chimbesha, Parche Kunzal Tapoche, Sola Debzo Chingi. Chinang Samwe Parche Shiva Tang, Sambal Hungi Debra Chingelo, Simjin Julu Jebe Nejungse, Mizidunga Negayim. Yingi Tessum Meba Sawade, Urgin Mengela Mepe, Sezemaya Parche Niba, Urgin Pema Junela Sawadep, Sambal Hungi Debra Chingelo, Simjin Julu Jebe Mizidunga Negayamana, Yingi Tessum Meba Sawade, Urgin Mengela Mepe, Sezemaya Parche Urgin Pema Junela Sawadep, Sambal Hungi Debra Chingelo, Simjin Julu Jebe Nejungse, Mizidunga Negayim. Yingi Tessum Meba Sawade, Urgin Mengela Mepe, Sezemaya Parche Urgin Pema Junela Sawadep, Sambal Hungi Debra Chingelo, Ugin Rinpoche La Sawadep. Garki Parchi Mijungshin, Tinge Samba Drubadang, Tang Cho Tumung Udupses, Ugin Rinpoche La Sawadep. Garki Parchi Mijungshin, Tinge Samba Drubadang, Cho Tumung Ugin Rinpoche La. Garki Parchi Mijungshin, Tinge Samba Drubadang, Cho Tumung Udupsal Dus. Zamninchi dan yulkam di datu nemasu so dungal mimita chudan sana padru konto pe tatu tashi dele zamninchi dan yulkam di datu nemasu so dungal mimita chudan sana padru konto tatu tashi dele punzo sho zamninchi dan yulkam di datu nemasu so dungal mimita chudan sana padru konto pe tatu tashi dele punzo sho. In the world in general and in this nation, may not even the names disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtues, qualities, and merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly rise. In the world in general and in this nation, may not even the names disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtues, qualities, and merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly rise. In the world in general and in this nation, may not even the names disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtues, qualities, and merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly rise. Sunamdi tamche sikpani tamne nyepe dhanam pamchini kiga nache balongtu sipe chole dowa shu. By this merit may all beings gain omniscience, thus defeat the neuroses which are our enemies.
Which are the enemies. From the turbulent waves of
birth, old age, sickness, and death.
From the ocean of cyclic existence, may all beings be liberated.
Kunzan toki tempe zujinchi, nidu shitub gyatse lurzepa, paldel lama kalgyar shabd. Tingi lundub tashi palbarsho, kunzan toki tempe zujinchi, nidu shitub gyatse lur. Paldel lama kalgyar shabdene, tingi lundub tashi palbarsho, kunzan toki tempe zujinchi. Nigdu shitub gyatse lurzepa, paldel lama kalgyar shabdene, tingi lundub tashi palbarsho. Lama kukam sangla sowa dep, chodo kuse ringla sowa dep, tinle tarjinge la sowa dep, lama dan dewa mebrajing. Lama kukam sangla sowa dep, chodo kuse ringla sowa dep, tinle tarjinge la sowa dep, lama dan dewa mebrajing. Lama kukam sangla sowa dep, chodo kuse ringla sowa dep, tinle tarjinge la sowa dep, lama dan dewa mebrajing. Padela me namba tarbala kijik samya lokta mikijing chizele par tongwe la mechen la simna jubar sho dizun dizum sape gewana matando shite time tayi simje sona malipa la mechen ju tepe gyurungo serap kudar da lame dichi khloiginde medebar mugulame tuyi chigdu dunyi hlungi drube trashi sol Kenlo chusum ringlu che, zamling sasum kyaparape, rugyo chosum nama. Mide tusum gele sho, kenlo chusum ringlu che, zamling sasum kyaparape, Rugyu chosum nawada, mide tusum gelesho, kelo chosum rindu. Zamling sasum kyabarape, rugyu chosum nawa, mide tusum gelesho, lo chulo ajirua chingulo, cholam do dubar. Lamla parche mebar chingilo, tuna isu shabar chingilo. Omyahum benza guru Bema Sidi Omiyam Benza Guru Bema Sidi Omiyam Benza Guru Bema Sidi Uyen Rinpoche la sowa karke parche mijung tunge samba drupa tang chodang tumongu drup tsal tu su. Thank you very much, everyone. Wonderful today's talk. And so what I would like to say is deepen your Dhamma practice every day. Life is very precious. And your life should be, whether you are in the morning or whether you're in the afternoon or you're in the evening, never separate yourself from bodhicitta mind. In fact, never separate yourself from bodhicitta mind in any time. And in order to do that, of course, due to our being in samsara for so long, for eons and eons, we've been, wandering here and wandering there. Sometime born is in the Devas realm, God's realm, and demigods realm, and human realms, and animals realm. We have been all kinds of form we have taken, endlessly. Going from here to there, all due to one's own karma. And then, and definitely that shows that we have been wandering in the sixth realm of samsara, not because of we have realized bodhicitta mind, but because we have been still caught up in ignorance. Due to the power of ignorance and afflictive emotion, we have been still wandering and still being left in samsara. That is the real cause to that, why we are here. There's no other cause. Nobody throws us here. This impure phenomena experience. Our body, if you look, vulnerable body, gets old age, sickness, death, the four kinds of suffering. Suffering of birth, suffering of old age, suffering of sickness, suffering of death. Then suffering upon suffering, change of suffering. Then conditioned suffering. Infinite suffering. Moment there is a body created, there is already suffering. And so this kind of suffering, which is happening us in a very real way, even in the gross phenomena of daytime we experience gross suffering. At nighttime we experience in our dream subtle suffering. Continuously all beings, in the ocean of suffering, reason why it's called ocean of suffering means so much, infinitely, that beings are suffering. What is the main cause of that? The main cause is ignorance. The main cause is grasping. And then ego and pride and all this afflictive emotion. Due to the mental afflictive emotion and mental ignorance, therefore we experience in our mind a phenomena known as impure phenomena. So at the same time, it says, wherever the space prevails, being prevails. Wherever beings prevails, the bodhisattva aspiration prevails. In Latin, aspiration prevails everywhere. So therefore, bodhisattvas come in the male and female form or in various different forms, and come and guide beings, show them the way. They can only show the way. But they can't just, change you just like that. Then you have to do that work. They can lead you, show you the way, but they can't change you. Therefore, as Buddha said, I've shown you the path of liberation. Now it's up to you. So therefore, that means that you need to recognize your ignorance. You need to recognize the grasping of the mind. You need to recognize the afflictive emotion, anger, pride, jealousy, attachment, all those things. So all of these things, they're like intertwined, interconnected to each other. It's not that you just have, one mere anger, but with anger comes jealousy, with anger comes desire, with anger. They're all like a very complex wiring system. And as long as the wisdom of compassion and wisdom of union of emptiness and compassion, that wisdom is not infused into a being, as long as we are caught up in the grasping mind, duality will continue, habitual expression of the duality, habits which are the expression of the duality will continue, and then the suffering and confusion will continue. So therefore now we need to go back. Actually it's very interesting. In the wheel of life, there's an outer circle, an inner circle, and then the innermost circle. So if you look at the outer circle, it's called the 12 interdependent. Then the inner circle, there's the 6 realm of life. Then the very inner circle, then there's a bird, a snake, and a pig. So what they symbolize, the root cause of our experience of impure phenomena is the pig is the main cause, which is ignorance. And from ignorance come, attachment and aggression. They all come one by one. Then due to that, and then the 6 realms of life, we begin to experience, infinite kinds of lifestyle. Now, if you look at in a personal, one person life, in your own life, how many kinds of life that you went through? Your, real life, or your imaginary life, or your subconscious life, or your all different dimensions of life that you've experienced. Then, if you look at now, then finally, as a person, how the samsara has emerged out of your mind, of the ignorance. Now how you can end the samsara is again looking in the mind. On that mind where it is sprang, on that mind you have to dissolve, so to speak. Something like that. The mind where it has emerged is the mind, and where it will be soul is the mind. So then, when on the outer circle of the wheel of life, there's 12 interdependent. The first is like there's an old man, a blind man. So that symbolizes ignorance. From ignorance comes marik duche. Then, duche means like ignorance. Then ignorance is the grasping, where it, duche, bring it, it grasps, sort of like it grasps everything. Then comes the nambarshipa. Then the nampa means the pictures. Image comes, the grasp, the ignorance bring the, naturally, ignorance brings the grasping, and where the, they all come just like that, so fast. Like then the image of that. Then comes the, when the image comes, you name it, it's labeled, you label something. Ming Zuk, then comes the form, Ming Zuk, Kewa means the bird, Keche Truk Rekpa, Keche Truk, then the eye, then the ear and nose and mouth and body, Keche Truk, 6, Truk Rekpa. Then from that form comes the, Rekpa means touch, Truk Rekpa. Rekpa comes Sorwa means then sensation. marik dujen manzu tuche trugripa sorwa sepa from the touch, then you rek from touch comes the sensation, and from sensation comes craving. Trugripa sorwa sepa lempa, and from craving then you try to get attached, you try to possession. Sorwa sepa sipa, then from possession then it's become possibility. Sipa kewa lempa marik duche number che music keche trugripa sorwa sipa lempa tang sipa kewa, and then from lempa, from craving, lempa sorwa sepa sipa, from craving then it's become possible. Becoming. Yeah, though, forgive me my translation right now, you will all know that. Sipa kewa lempa thing. So then from kewa, from the birth, then the birth happens, and then there's death. So this is how, there are 12 nidanas, the 12 interdependent. This is very important. You should look into this. The wheel of life is a very, very important. It was sanctioned, if I use the word called sanctioned by Buddha himself during Buddha's time. It's in every monastery, temple, outside there is a wheel of life to show how it began, what's the root cause of our life, how it emerged. So please look into that. I'm sure, you can, there must be books about that. So I just want to say that. Okay? And now, so therefore, once you stop the ignorance, the blind man, which is ignorance, then the whole samsara ends. Yeah. So therefore, bodhicitta mind comes right place. One at a time, like that. Thank you. And then I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. It's a wonderful tradition, except for the turkey. Maybe we will be giving, in some lifetime as a turkey to that turkey Thanksgiving. So make some prayer when you eat the turkeys. But it's a nice, wonderful tradition, thanking, and I think truly now, I hope in this country there will be peace and reconciliation, and everyone can move forward with love and joy. And our good news is I heard there's a vaccine coming soon now. AstraZeneca, Moderna, and Pfizer. Looks like a number of vaccines are coming. It's time actually, to end this thing. And please pray. And I wish you all well, and so we can all meet together soon. Okay? Thank you. Good night.